All right. All right. Cool. So this rapper here, Montana 300. There's a video that was on my YouTube recommendation. I felt like I want to make my thoughts on it, and simply people saying he was exposed in the music industry. It's just something that we heard before, And I'm no disrespect to Montana 300. I believe he, came from Chicago, Illinois, and drill rapper, a very independent individual, and he was just basically saying that it's funny how when these music industries and these people who sign these contracts, for the most part, they sign their soul away, and for the most part, you basically wrote that definition, made a definition is that individuals sell their soul, do you do something that's going to negate your values just for some money, and which is absolutely true. You even got YK Osiris, who was an R&B singer and slash rapper. He said this is back in the summer. And maybe in 2020 people are waking up, and I'm not saying like, I don't know if Montana 300 is real serious about this though. I mean, he was talking about his net worth was 8 million, even though it's 2 million. Looked it up. He said he had over 500 million YouTube views, and he only had like over maybe 150 million. But I mean, this was besides the point. I mean, he's just basically just saying that, listen, man, if this music is not what it seems to be. You want to talk about something that's very positive, like the J. Cole's, the Kendrick Lamar's, and I appeared to listen to Icon. I guess it was a remix song that he made, because it was a Jaden Smith type beat, man, on his few albums ago. But I mean, it was all right. I mean, of course, it was explicit things. She was just saying how he came up. His mother was on crack. His dad was an alcoholic. How he came up and became very successful. I'm not selling my soul. I'm fighting demons. He has some positive stuff in there, but a lot of it was him, just being secular, of course, about how many times he had sex with different women, how he had sex with the women. I mean, it's just really something that, you don't really need to hear. But I mean, even though he did the hot song with Bobby Shmurda, the freestyle in 2014, that's when he started really blowing up. But I did a little more research on Montana 300. Now, in 2008, that's when he really started taking hip-hop a little bit more serious. And I really don't listen to his music. I'm not a big fan, but, he did jump onto the I almost said bandwagon, but to the trend when drill rap was really prevalent then. Of course, Chief Keef, he set the trend, and all this drill rap, Slim Jesus coming out, Lil Bibby, before he started becoming an executive producer. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Montana 300 can rap, he can freestyle, and the things that he was saying in his video a couple days ago, he was saying that like if you start a business, you get like 2 likes, but if you posted something and say, hey, I got a job, you get like 400 likes. And I understand the mindset of the people. Yes, entrepreneurship and independence is really not looked upon as good. It's self-improvement is very boring to a lot of people, and I understand that, man. I'm glad that he brought that out there. The only thing is, it's just that it can be a kind of confusing message, because if people really listen to your songs, your lyrics, it's just you do cuss a lot, talk about just a lot of things that's not positive. And you were just saying that, listen to these rappers and what they're saying. Is this something that can progress you in life? You having sex with the type of women, how's that going to progress a listener in life? I mean, just talking about the streets and all that stuff, man. I think he has probably a message to people that's, I won't say in the hood, but I can kind of relate to them that they kind of live that background in broken homes. And I'm not discrediting any type of talent for Montana 300, but just gotta say that, I'm not saying that he's being hypocritical and the stuff that he's saying in his videos, but I mean, it's just something that people have been saying this for the longest time. I mean, you got like Juice WRLD, like he died, right? Well, supposedly, the drug overdose. I mean, you got a lot of music labels, they give you this money and stuff when you sign a contract. Yeah, you do live 4 or 5 years, or how many years that you sign. And then next they're going to get a new artist if they decide to put you on the shelf, and they want to build up another artist if you decide to not to go within their agenda. And yes, that does happen a lot. I mean, you got even Prince, Michael Jackson in her own. They did try to own most of their record labels, so Prince was actually fighting for that. And then he started exposing a lot of stuff with the music industry and things that he had to do, and the rituals and all that stuff. And they didn't really like that in his interviews, and they want to sit up here and say that he died off of flu causes, even though he was vegan and he was he was at a Lakers game like a week before he died. That didn't make any sense. If you really have severe cases of flu, someone just don't die that instantly. But that's here and there. I mean, he said some good things on here, but at the same time, you turn around and make music that's contradicting what you're saying, that's kind of like, all right, bro, how can I take you serious? That's my whole thing here. Not gonna do a whole spiel, like a whole live of like Montana 300 is he's being fake or anything, but I mean, but I'm glad that he's conscious enough, and I hope people can take some information what the man was saying, that yes, you do not want to sell yourself short just for a piece of change. You don't want to do that. Be independent, be a businessman, entrepreneur, investor, do something that's going to help you. And regardless how long it takes, as long as you independent, you own everything that you know that you created, no one, I'm guaranteeing no one cannot take that away from you, right? You know where your money's going, you can spend it as much as you want. I think that's pretty much the message that he wants to get out there. I don't think he want to be like more of a revolutionary. I don't see that in him, but I mean, I don't need, like I said, I don't need to listen to 2 or 3 songs. I'm pretty sure some Montana 300 fans gonna come in here is pull it up on the comment section and get all upset though. But at the same time, man, just kind of live up with what you preach. That's the only thing it is. But I mean, yeah, you want to do everything for your family and stuff, and that particular time, I mean, he had a rap and he's working hard in the studio, he's marketing his music, which is a good thing, and he's just showing, he's a good example in showing that, hey, if you want to be an independent artist, this is the type of work and grind that you have to do. Seriously, this all you have to do. You gotta work hard and just own yourself. I remember, it reminds me of Big Crit when he had a huge interview with his father on Father's Day last year, and he was just talking about what's his childhood and how he had gained inspiration to rap, and he didn't want to sign to a record label. And I applaud him for that. I applaud people like that, man. Especially I mean, you got him and you got Montana 300 who got No Fly Guy, I believe, records. And they came up with an album, and he dedicated himself every May 20th that he's going to drop an album. And he's been dropping series of mixtapes then to get his name out there, so which is good. So, I mean, I might have the link in the description box of what he's saying here. I'm just hoping he's genuine there. But when I was listening to his music, I was like, I don't know, man. Is he really serious, or he just, is he's just playing with the fans or some sort, because he's not want to do what the record labels want him to do, and he's trying to make his name out there. You get what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I can't control what what the rappers say or anything in his music. If that's what appealed to his fans, that's what appealed to his fans. But I just found it interesting. You got YK Osiris, you got him. I think it was another individual, it's a woman. She said she sold her soul to the devil basically for like $50,000. She didn't think what it was going to be, and now they have all the rights to her music. And that's a shame, man. You got to kind of like do all these crazy things, just something that you don't really dream of doing, just so you can make a living. And they can tell you, they can give you a house on it, so but you technically don't own it. It's like if you decide to do your own thing and not produce an album on their terms or produce a type of content or music that's pushed on the radio, then yeah, man, they can turn you off right then and there, and then you'll just be gone in a miss. And that's kind of crazy. So I think that's the message that you really want to send. Do your own stuff. So that's the only positive inspiration I got from him. I mean, not a huge fan of his music, but I do respect the man for actually coming out and making some type of video about how he feels about the music industry, which takes a lot of guts in doing that. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. You guys can check that out too on your YouTube recommendation feed. But yeah, he's just a local, I don't want to say up and coming artist, but he's local. He's up there. He's kind of famous, so he's very active on Instagram and Twitter. But I just really had to, put my 2 cents on it. But what you guys think of his message, man? Put it in the comment section. You guys continue to like, comment, subscribe. Like I said again, 2020, man, and beyond. Just giving you all this content here and this news here. We're going to be reporting all news, hip-hop news, movie news, everything, man. Seriously. So anything that you want me to talk about, please email me at rodney9312@gmail.com. Please do that. Donate to the channel at Yunglinkjr on the Cash App. I truly appreciate that. So all I gotta say, it's your boy Yunglinkjr. I'm out. Deuces.